There are lots of possibilities for what you can do with the motor projects. So you end up with a tremendous variety at the end, depending on how much time you put into it. But let's just go through and look at a few of these and then see where it takes us. So that's the basic motor in the centre through the block, and then the battery at one end, the electrical connections, and then the motor hub attaches to a wheel. It's just a push fit in the middle of the wheel, so there's a gap there that allows it to spin. And then when we complete the connection to the battery, complete the circuit, you can probably hear it as well, then this effectively is a turntable. I mean, it's not a vehicle wheel in this particular situation. It just allows us to attach other things to it. So you can make up a variety of little discs, and the discs could form the sort of starting point for a game. So every time you touch the connection, it spins, and then of course the disc will stop. And you could come up with a game whereby you had a pointer maybe, and the pointer, this would sort of simulate a dice. Number 1 if the pointer was in that position there. So the wheel spins round. Oh, you got a 2 this time. You get the idea. So that's the starting point for a whole series of like turntable ideas. Well, what if the turntable was different? You could come up with loads of different ideas. And with this one, look, I've even put scissor cuts in it so that it's created this strange propeller shape. And of course this one acts as a fan, so that as it spins blows the air. So maybe that's got a possibility for another invention. Maybe this could stand upright like that, so that when you view it like that way, you view it that way, then you've created something, different way of using the turntable. So lots of possibilities there. Simple hub in a wheel. So what if we keep the motor in the same position? This doesn't have a hub on it, but we could easily fit the hub back on. And when we switch it on, you can see what happens. The wheel spins. Now, if the hub had been on the end there, it would have stopped the elastic band jumping off, and the elastic band would just fit in neatly behind the hub and the spindle. So hub pushed on, gap between the bottom of the hub and the motor housing itself. So this little gap there of the spindle, it traps the elastic band, but then still allows the motor to spin the wheel. And of course that could be a vehicle that would run along the ground. Fantastic. Next one. Well, now if we change the position of the motor, and the motor is being put into the sort of end of the block, then I've created a fan now based on that idea, but this one's a bit more rigid. It's stronger because it's made from plastic cut from a milk bottle, drawn a circle, cut the fan blades, given the fan blades a twist, and now it acts as a little vehicle. And you can feel the air blowing from the vehicle. Now, I don't think this battery is particularly new, but it does move. If it was going faster, the vehicle would go faster. Experimentation with different size of these fan stroke propellers, and the blade sizes, and the number of blades also affects how much air it pushes, and that might be a way to make the vehicle faster. That's worth experimenting with further. Here's a completely different way of doing things. So this is the same block, except the hub doesn't act as a hub. What I've done is put the hub in sideways along so that it deliberately spins off center. So it's got this sticky out part here, which effectively swings left, right, right as it goes round and round. So when it swings over that way, it sort of creates a vibration that way. When it swings back round, it creates a vibration that way. And the thing absolutely goes crazy as soon as we switch it on. So it's got a mind of its own. What if we were to stand it up? Whoa. So you can see how mad that is. That's got loads of fun uses because you could make a creature's body around it. And that could be sort of a card, creature, a robot, whatever you want. And it's a way of making the robot move in a strange way, quite an amusing way. So that's got loads of possibilities for a project involving creating a battling creature which can bump into and perhaps knock over other creatures. So that's another possibility. One last one we'll look at, and that is with the addition of a few extra parts. Well, actually it's only one extra part. It's just a bobbin. So the little bobbin there, which is, or cotton reel, and there's one of the axles that you would use to make the vehicles. And then this time the elastic band hooks around the hub as before, the spindle as before. I would put the hub back on, it just stops the elastic band jumping off. And then whatever you attach to the top of the cotton reel spins round as soon as the spindle turns. Now what's different about this is now a geared system. The spindle's going really quickly, but because of the larger size of the wheel, we've reduced the speed. That's the same effect that you get in the vehicle. It creates like a gearing effect, which makes it more powerful, but slows the actual speed down. And that's useful. You might want to slow the speed down for certain types of projects you have ideas for. There are all sorts of possibilities. What this is good for is attaching heavier objects. Because it's geared, it's able to turn them around more easily. So it gives this sort of possibility for like fairground rides, quite big, substantial creations that sit on the top, but then are driven round and round to simulate a fairground ride. Perhaps it's a way to design new fairground rides. So there's another option.